All right, it's 5:32, so
Going to the next council meeting, complain about my neighbors.
Is he corrupting? How you doing? Is he corrupting you?
He called you Williams, huh?
Oh, I didn't hear, I'm sorry.
David, just let me know when you're ready. Okay? All right, good evening and welcome to the Crestwood School Board of Education organizational meeting. Called to order at 5:33 PM. Mr. Secretary, can we get a roll call vote, please?
Trustee Fawaz.
Here.
Trustee Sabo.
Here.
Trustee Williamson.
Here.
Trustee Amen is here. Trustee Barry.
Here.
Trustee Baydoun. Here. Madam President,
Here?
we're all here.
Thank you. Okay, I think that's you, right? Approval of agenda?
Approval of agenda, recommended action. Board of Education approval is recommended for the items listed on the consent agenda, which include the January 22, 2024 organizational board agenda.
Support.
Okay, recommended by trustee Amen, supported by trustee Baydoun, that the Board of Education approval is recommended for the items listed on the consent agenda, which include the January 22, 2024 organizational board agenda. Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We'll now go to the agenda, election of officers.
Madam President,
Nomination for president, trustee Amen.
I'd like to nominate Danielle Zayat for president.
Support.
Okay. Nomination, Danielle Elzayat for president, supported by trustee Amen, supported by trustee Baydoun. Can we get a roll call? Any other right, Nadia? I don't know.
Any
other
other
nominations?
Madam Chair,
Trustee Saba?
I nominate Salwa Fawaz.
Any other nominations? Any other nominations? Any other nominations? Okay. All right, Mr. Secretary, can we get a roll call vote, please, for Danielle Elzayat for president?
Do we do discussion, do discussions at all, or it's just, that's it?
I've never had a discussion on
No, there's
nomination.
nothing to
If you want to say something, David, you can.
I can't remember, I know we had all agreed on, we'd all would do like term limits. Do you remember what we, does anybody recall what we agreed on? It would be
Yeah,
2 year
each-
It's in the
limits?
bylaws.
Yeah, policy is, I think, 2 years.
2 years.
2 years,
Two terms.
Two terms.
Two terms.
okay,
All right,
Consecutive terms. You can be off a year and come back.
understood, yes.
correct.
That I remembered, I didn't remember if it was 1 or 2 years, I'm sorry.
Okay,
Okay, that's all I wanted.
Can you start on the left side, please, Mr. Amon?
Mr. Secretary?
Okay. Trustee Sabo.
Abstain.
Trustee Williamson.
Danielle?
Are we going Danielle first? Or are we going-
Yeah, it's just yes or no for me.
Oh, for you, I'm sorry,
You
yes.
didn't say anything, you just said trustee Sabah, so I don't know what you're,
Well, she said right off
It's
the
a
bat
roll
that
call
we're going
vote.
for Danielle first.
I know, but we nominated 2 people, Billy.
I know, she said we're going for Danielle first.
Got it. Okay, I didn't hear that, that's fine, but,
Okay, I'm sorry, yeah, it's my first time.
So this is for
So you're
Danielle
abs-
Elzayat to be president.
good.
Okay, now we need a roll call vote.
Okay. Trustee Saba.
Abstain.
Trustee Williamson.
Yes.
Trustee Barry.
Yes.
Trustee Amen, yes. Do we skip you or? Trustee
No,
Ba-
I get to vote.
Okay.
My
Madam
vote
Pres-
is yes.
Yes. Haas?
Yes.
Mr. Baydoun? Salwa?
No.
Okay. Then for Salwa Fawaz?
No, that's a majority.
That's
so
what
we
we
don't
Also
vote.
with the majority,
Yeah.
okay.
Madam Chair,
Trustee Saba?
I nominate Salwa Fawaz for vice president.
Any other nominations for vice president?
Madam Chair,
Trustee Barry?
I nominate House Baydoun for Vice President.
Any other nominations for vice president? Any other nominations for vice president? Any other nominations for vice president? Okay, seeing and hearing none. First vote for Salwa Fawaz. Mr. Secretary, can we get a roll call?
Okay, first is for Salwa. Trustee Fawaz?
Yes.
Trustee Seba?
Yes.
Trustee Williamson?
No.
Trustee Amen? No. Trustee Barry?
No.
Trustee Badun?
No.
Trustee Elzayat?
No. Okay, next vote is for Hassan Beydoun for Vice President. Mr. Secretary, can we get a roll call?
Trustee Fawaz?
No.
Trustee Seba?
No.
Trustee Williamson?
Yes.
Trustee Amen, yes. Trustee Barry?
Yes.
Trustee Badun?
Yes.
Trustee Elzayat?
Yes. Okay, Haas Beydoun for, congratulations, Haas.
Thank you.
Haas Beydoun. Okay, nominations for treasurer. Nominations for treasurer. Nobody's nominating a treasurer?
Madam Chair,
Trustee Beydoun?
I nominate Salwa Fawaz for treasurer.
I don't want the nomination for treasurer.
Okay, Salwa's declining. Nominations for treasurer?
I nominate David Williamson.
I do not want. Deny that.
Madam Chair,
Trustee Beydoun?
I nominate Nadia Berry for treasurer.
Why, because I'm the last one? I don't know if I really want it.
Support.
Okay, well, there's support. Can we get a roll call vote, please, Mr. Secretary?
Trustee Fawaz?
Yes.
Trustee Seba?
Abstain.
Trustee Williamson?
Yes.
Trustee Amen, yes. Trustee Barry?
Yes, I guess.
Trustee Badun?
Yes.
Trustee Elzayat?
Yes. Okay. Nominations for secretary,
Madam Chair,
Trustee Beydoun?
nominate Billy Amen.
I'll second that. I don't know if we even second, but I will. Okay. Any other nominations for secretary? Any other nominations for secretary? Any other nominations for secretary? Mr. Secretary, can we get a roll call vote, please?
Trustee Fawaz?
Yes.
Trustee Seba?
Abstain.
Trustee Williamson?
Yes.
Amen, yes. Trustee Barry?
Yes.
Trustee Badun?
Yes.
Trustee Elzayat?
Yes. Okay, congratulations, Billy. Congratulations, Nadia. Congratulations, Haas.
Billy, you did good. You got 7 out of 7.
Okay. Just for the record, to reiterate, President Danielle Elzayat, Vice President Hassan Beydoun, Treasurer Nadia Berry, Secretary Billy Amen. That is it. As part of the, Kristen, you have approval of depositories. Are we doing that now?
That's part of the organizational meeting.
Okay. So we have, next item is approval of depositories for school funds.
Madam Chair,
Should we switch spots right now?
I think that's,
Did we switch?
I think that's for the organizational
I'm
meeting.
fine, I'm
I don't-
fine with
That's for
that.
the 6 o'clock?
No, this is for the
Oh,
org meeting.
okay, I'm sorry.
Because we can only vote at the
Okay.
org, not study session.
Got it.
Okay, so approval of depositories for school funds, JP Morgan Chase Bank. Penny, are you handling that, or do you want us to just read it?
Madam Chair, I need to excuse myself from this vote.
Oh, yeah, yes, got it.
I can read it, I don't have to.
Okay, go ahead.
Designation of depositories for school funds with JP Morgan Chase Bank.
Okay. Can we get a motion?
Motion to approve.
Thank you.
Support.
Okay, moved by David Williamson, supported by trustee Amen. Recommended action is that JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. be approved as the depository of school district funds for the 2024 calendar year. Any discussion?
Madam Chair,
Trustee Barry.
why have we not looked at other banks or entities for this? Why have we
Don't know.
stuck
Have we
with just
always been
Chase?
with them?
I know Huntington gives us a lot of scholarships for our students, and that would be something that we should have considered to give back.
We've been with Chase
for at least 10 years that I'm aware of, so I just didn't look at another one.
Has there ever been
Personally.
consideration to look at any others?
Not in my tenure, no.
Okay,
I don't know what happened before.
all right. So
Does
we've been with
Chase
them
do-
for 10 years. We've never,
It could be longer, I just know when I was looking back, it was 10.
okay.
Has Chase ever done anything for us? Do they give scholarships to our students or anything?
I don't know of any.
Not that I've seen anything.
I mean, I
from
know
him.
about the Huntington one.
But I know they give to the organizations that do.
I've never seen anything, so why wouldn't we consider somebody that gives, large scholarships to our students or something like that?
I just know that when we go with fees, they're the least amount of fees that we get. And the interest rate is higher than some of the other banks that I've dealt with in the past.
I'm not saying Chase Bank shouldn't be our bank,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm also not saying, yeah, they should if we've never looked at anybody else.
Right.
So, I mean, we could, maybe for, next year, I feel comfortable moving forward this year. I don't know how everybody else feels, but maybe for next year, if you just look at a few, maybe because we've been with them for so long.
Mhm.
I don't know how everyone else feels, that's just my opinion.
I mean, I feel like we should look at other options, you know, it doesn't always have to be the same old, same old. You gotta go with who's giving you the most. And if they're looking at your organization and donating to your organization and to your students, why wouldn't you consider another entity?
Any other discussion on, JP Morgan Chase Bank as our depository?
So are you saying we can, was your recommendation?
My recommendation is that it's on the agenda right now, like we go forward with JP Morgan Chase, but then we talk to Dr. Mosalam about maybe looking at a few other banks for next year, just so we know that this is the best bank to go with.
Is it yearly that we vote on this?
Yes,
Yeah.
at each organizational meeting.
Do we have a contract or anything with them, or can we change it anytime?
No, we just have our account with them.
Right, so it's anytime. you can change.
Realistically, you can change it
could.
anytime, we don't
Okay.
have a contract.
Okay.
You
So we
could.
could vote no, and then they could look, you vote no now, and then maybe vote on it next month.
You could. My recommendation is that we vote yes to
I
keep this
understand.
as our bank, and then if we wanna change,
Right.
we have Dr. Mosalam and the team look at other options, and then I mean, they could look at other options, look at 50 other options and we decide not one of those 50 is better than what we're getting from JP Morgan.
Right, I was just
I
trying
mean,
to figure out what options we
yeah,
have.
but at least you're
And
looking
if you
at
voted
it.
no, what would happen?
If we voted no, then I think they'd have to go close the account and find a new one,
Well,
right?
they can't close the account until you decided on which, you know, branch.
So
you
should
want
we
to go
just vote yes for now and then have them look at new options? That was my recommendation.
with. Is there a timeline for new options, you know, to see what fees and stuff are? I
You can
mean,
do it anytime. I can send Dr. Mosalam an email on behalf of the board asking
Okay.
that he look at other options.
I mean, you haven't had any issues or concerns with them that, I mean, really to look into. We could probably see if someone else would offer something better, but for the most part, you haven't had an issue, right? So why wouldn't we just stay with what we,
Well, I would say that you should shop for insurance every 2 years to see if you can
you
get a
could
better.
shop, yes, but I
Yeah,
think,
yeah,
yeah,
that-
like you
that's
said, we need to just say yes and then, you know.
Well, I think that's what the ask is. We're gonna ask
Madam
Dr.
Chair?
Mosalam and the team.
From
Trustee
a-
Saba.
I'm not giving advice on either way, but I ask the board to consider everything that goes into changing accounts. It's not like changing your personal account or changing your insurance.
Sure.
No, I don't,
You're
that's
pro-
why we're asking the questions, to see.
So that's, let me finish up.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. As Penny can tell you, there's a lot that goes into it, from an investment perspective, from all kinds of funds and different accounts that she has to manage on a daily basis, to relationships. I understand folks are talking about scholarships. I'm not disputing any of that. But there's a lot that goes into that. You're talking about something that would not be a 1-month process to change. It's more like a 9-month process to switch everything
Sure.
over. So if you make that decision, you're looking at about a 6 to 9 month lead time. Is that about right?
Probably 6 months, yeah.
Yeah. If everything goes right.
Correct.
Yeah. So you're asking for a lot. If there are issues, I think they should be brought out and put up front. Aside from, I think, you should be looking at options for everything. But if there are issues, they should be brought to the forefront so we can address them here and with the bank. If there aren't issues, change just for the sake of change doesn't make sense.
Sure.
I have a question. Who were we with when that check was cashed by the previous the previous CFO. Remember the check that went through that shouldn't have gone through? Were we with
The one,
Chase?
that one that we had the, through the bond issue?
Right.
Yes, we were with Chase, but that was a
Okay.
wire, it was a transfer, not, and that
Okay,
was
but did-
initiated on our side.
Okay, so what did Chase do to help us to recoup our money?
Honestly, I don't know, because that happened prior to, and I was at the tail
Well,
end.
yeah, but you guys were still dealing with it when you took over.
Right, and so by the time
So-
we were dealing with it, it was
Right.
well past that point, so we were already at the attorney level, so I can't answer that question.
No, it was happening just as Yusuf was taking over and you were taking over.
So can we do this? Can we
yes.
just move forward today
Okay.
with the recommended action in front of us? And then I'll send an email to Yusuf
fair.
asking to shop around and let us know whatever the team comes up with as options. We can review those options, and it may be something we don't even decide to change.
Okay.
So all those,
Yeah, and just in asking him too, what trustee Saber brought up, how much would it actually
what would that
cost
entail?
us
Yeah,
to switch?
And if there would be
Some
any
good
cost.
ones, yes.
And what's the rates that we're getting back and all that?
well, I would assume that, I'll put that. I would assume that if we're, Penny, if we're asking for you guys to shop around, like, what are all the pros, what are all the cons? What are we doing, what are issues, what are not? I mean, that stuff, and I'll put that in the email to him. Hearing no further discussion, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed?
I have excused myself from any vote at all.
So you have to do a roll call.
Can we get a roll call vote, Mr. Secretary?
Trustee Fawaz?
Yes.
Trustee Williamson?
Yes.
Trustee Seba?
Vote not applicable, no vote at all. Don't put no vote at all.
Yeah, just no
Trustee Amen, yes. Trustee Barry?
Yes.
Trustee Baydoun?
Yep.
Madam President?
Yes. Okay, next item, approval of depositories for school funds, Michigan Liquid Asset Fund. Motion,
Madam Chair, it's recommended that the MILAF be approved as a depository of the school district funds for the calendar year 2024.
Support.
recommended action by trustee Williamson, supported by trustee Amen, that the that the MILAF, MILAF, be approved as the depository of school district funds for the 2024 calendar year. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Motion to adjourn.
Support.
Okay, recommended action by trustee Baydoun, supported by trustee Amen. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned at 5:50 PM. We'll be back at 6 PM for our study session.
God, why is it so cold in here?